your body can utilize 300 grams in one sitting of protein. So just skip the meal plan and just go right to it. Okay, that's not a real question. Let me just clarify. That's not a real question. The reason why it's not a real question is because you can get injured doing anything. I think this is a new age thing where they say, hey, there's a time limit that you can go to the gym. So you got to get in with that time limit. I've always eaten 5 minutes before lifting, or 10 minutes or 20 minutes. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not one of these guys and never have been. The shirt's pretty good, though. All right, boys and girls, let's get these questions going. We finished check-ins. Kenton, I saw some sumo deadlifts going on. I was working on my back bridges today. You review my blood work? Yes, I did check your blood work. Everything looks pretty decent. I want to talk to you about what your doctor thinks you need to do and stuff. So it looks pretty good from where things are as we just continue forward to make sure that we keep getting the weight down. And that's going to help other numbers as well as we continue forward, Lori. Odd question. Can you answer this one for me?
Yeah.
I'll put it up on the screen there.
Do you train at the gym? Dude, that's easy.
Is that a real question, though?
Yes.
It is for the new kids, isn't it? Can you explain that to me?
They're assuming there's a time frame for muscle building that's kind of generic to everyone's body type and everyone's goal.
Can you guys hear him?
That's what's going on here.
Let's pull that boy in. Let's pull in the sexiness. There.
Oh.
Repeat that one more time.
I'm saying that he just probably doesn't know how, or it's his first time working out maybe, and he's assuming there's a time frame that will achieve maximum gains.
Right.
There you go.
So I agree with Serge. I think this is a new age thing where they say, hey, there's a time limit that you can go to the gym. So you got to get it in with that time limit. I've been going to the gym for 43 years to an actual gym training with the best, around the best. And what I've found just for the long period of time is that you go to the gym first and foremost and do the routine that you like the best. Not my routine, not Clark's routine, whatever routine you like the best. And that will probably continue you to do exercise, if that's what you want. Now, if you want to go to the gym to be better, then what you want to do is kind of plan out that the gym is secondary to the nutrition before and after. You agree?
100%.
All right. So he agrees with me, and he's a youngster. So the reason why I say that's more important than the time in the gym is because the time in the gym should never overlap the amount of time from when you had your nutrition and when you get your next meal. Okay. So for me, the longest I'll go is 3 hours. And that's from the meal to training to the meal. So I calculate in, time to the gym. A lot of people I know are freaked out about digestion. It's like I've always eaten
gluten.
I've always eaten 5 minutes before lifting, or 10 minutes or 20 minutes. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not one of these guys and never have been. I don't get 28. I do not. So I can eat before. But if you have a problem with that, then just wait 20 minutes and you'll be fine and go in. But this whole thing about eat, what do they say? Like wait an hour and then go train?
Like you're not going to go swimming or something here. Why am I waiting time to go eat?
You gotta wait, because then it's got to digest so they can use the blood, because your body can only do one thing at a time. It's either digesting or it's working out.
Can't do both.
It can't do both. It's cool. It's kind of cool. Your body continues to work. So let's move that concept from there and just assume that your body's smarter than us. It's going to work digestion and as you're training and so on and so forth. So I guess the best answer is train as smart as you want, but just make sure that the meals before and after is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Do not do this new age. I just heard something the other day. This is mind blowing. No, ready for this? I eat before I train,
Mhm.
then I go train, and then I wait a couple hours after I train to have a meal.
Yes.
I'm lost.
I'm lost because that has never been a statement. It's like the new statement about I just eat all my macros in one meal. Wait a minute. Did all the old school facts get thrown out? Like, hey, your body only utilizes only 30 to 40 grams of protein.
That's out the window.
That's out the window.
As soon as Instagram came about, that's out the window.
These guys are you
Done.
Instagram trainers are incredible.
It's over.
So cool to know that your body can utilize 300 grams in one sitting of protein. So just skip the meal plan and just go right to
My
it.
bikini coach told me I could. So.
I'm gonna give Serge a little. Which was there we go.
Whoa.
Whoa! What you got? What you got, dog?
Ooh,
Look at that front arm takes up the whole screen.
Look at that. Look at that.
Serge looks
forearm.
good, man.
Ooh.
Serge looks good. Okay, that's not a real question. Let me just clarify. That's not a real question. The reason why it's not a real question is because you can get injured doing anything. It has nothing to do with body parts. So that's not a real question. The question should be: can training two body parts build muscle, or is it not good? I think it's fine. I think if you like training two body parts a day, that's great. But again, you guys know that I go back to the old belief. If you're doing it for a short period of time and you have all this like this momentum built up and you can go into it, great. But like some of the toughest programs you can do is like power bodybuilding, and that's just 3 exercises, 4 exercises, really.
Tough.
Right. And so that's just 4 exercises, and that was tough. Imagine doing 2 body. Remember that? Squat, bench, squat.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
we lasted about 2 weeks on this last one. We're gonna come back around and we're gonna knock the 9 weeks. But man, I need some calories to do it this time. I ain't 30 years old no more. I need some calories to do that program. Power bodybuilding is no jokes. But that being said, so this isn't a real question. Injury happens, unfortunately, to anybody, to everybody, no matter what you're doing. Jeffrey hurt himself doing some typing today to some fella. So
Jay made a good point
Jay, what'd he say?
about training twice a day.
Go.
And it wasn't about, it had nothing to do, he liked training twice a day. He said in his
Morning and night.
his
I loved it too.
He loved it. And it wasn't because, it worked better for his muscles, but he said it worked better for him mentally because if he was in a routine, like that was just his day. Like he could
You
plan
see what he just
everything
did?
out. Yeah,
You see what he just did? So these are the points I wish we would say more to these people, because you miss this. You think, it's 2 body parts a day. That's the key. No, it's the routine that you're in that keeps you on point day in and day out. Hey, what meal plans? No, it's about how you can set up your meal plan that works best for you. It's the small details.
and with the meals, so he knew he had to eat breakfast because he had to go train.
Right.
Like, so he had to eat breakfast. And then after he trains, he knows he had to sleep or recover and eat because he knows he's got to go train again. And he's got to be his best to train again.
Mhm.
So he knows that he's got to sleep after that because in the morning, he's going to, so like everything's laid out for him perfect that way. Where people think it's like, your biceps grow bigger if you do 2 a days. It's like,
How do you explain that to these guys, that it's the little things? The routine is great and you need a good routine, and the nutrition is great and you need that, but it's the things that cause you to become consistent and motivated that keeps you better than anything else. Say it, Serge. What is it that?
I'm thinking, because that's already the problem. That no one sticks around to see if a program works or not because
They don't give a look.
They don't see the results instantly.
Say it again. Say it again for these guys in a TV voice.
Yeah, so like if you can't stick to a plan, then you'll never know what works for you because you're not actually going through the program itself. You're just kind of like you're half-assing the beginning of it to see if you get any results, and if you do, then you assume it's going to work.
so what about this? What if you only do one plan? How do you know if that plan even works for you? Because if you just start and you do one plan, yeah, of course it works for you.
Yes.
It's the only thing that's gonna work for you.
Mhm.
But you don't know if that plan is effective in the long run if you continue to do that. One, if you stop, or two, if you don't move on and do another plan or repeat that plan
Mhm.
and get, some information for yourself.
But that's where the knowledge of the body changing comes in play, because if your body's
that?
consistently changing, then you have to consistently change.
So I hope you guys are listening to this, because this is gold. This isn't coming from me. This is coming from a couple guys that are much younger than me, that are around people, that are training with people that are in the gym a lot. Actually, in the gym, these guys are in the gym more than I am. Which is great. So, what was it?
I stopped it and started it. I got this thing.
Oh, he's going.
So that's what I did here.
Oh, you plugged it right back in, huh? We were doing the stem, and it went from ground zero to 100 because it plugged in. All right, so let's go for some more questions, guys.
So many questions about the training, but no one's talking about.
Go for it.
Oh, yeah.
Throw one up.
No one's talking about the nutrition aspect of it. Like this guy right here is just saying, how many times should you train in a week when trying to put muscle on? But
Throw that up there.
I did.
Okay. Hey, Coach. Just curious about how many times a week should you train a week when you're trying to put on muscle? I got a question. What's the difference between trying to put on muscle and trying to take off fat? Will you put that on there as well? Just because I'm curious. Okay, that question really confuses me.
Right? No,
Why wouldn't you just train 5 times a week? Maybe. I mean, that's what I recommend. Do
Why
5
not?
days a week and rest a couple days and get back into it, or just grab a program and start it for 8 to 12 weeks, and
Why
let's
is
make
it so
see.
important for them to have a time frame in how many days and hours?
I didn't know this was. Here's the truth of this matter right now. This question here confuses me because I didn't know that was a confusion to society. So, like hypothetically, it's common knowledge that most people have a job and it's usually 9 to 5. That's a common phrase
Yes.
used, and not everybody does 9 to 5. Obviously, there's people that work at nights, and but it's pretty much there. So you can assume that that's kind of close. Isn't it kind of assumed that you train about 5 days a week?
Sure. Yeah.
Isn't that kind of a given, or no? Is that not a new thing? Is
I would say.
3 days a week is a weekend warrior? Hey, I get 3 days. Good job. I'm still hanging in there. I'm 35. Where 5 days is like, hey, I want to get in shape.
Exactly.
I train 5 days a week and I rest a couple days. 6 days is kind of the guy that going, okay, you're a little over the top. Maybe 6 days you don't need. Yeah, but 5 days is kind of that common knowledge. You're very new to this, so this is what I would recommend for Ronnie. Please, more importantly than training 5 days a week would be the nutrition to support the training. And Serge said, which is great. Serge said, all these questions are about training, but nothing about nutrition. But you guys all know, I just want to make sure this, you all know you can train perfectly with the perfect amount of days, with the perfect amount of time in the gym. And if your nutrition is not on point and not changing and not moving with your body, not forcing it to grow, none of it works. I mean, let me say this. It doesn't work. 100%, it does not work. What it does do is it deteriorates the body. You don't feed it, you get worse. You don't feed it, you get an injury. You don't feed it, you get fatter. You don't feed it, you overtrain, you stop, you're done. That's harsh. Is that harsh?
No.
It's not harsh?
That's the truth.
It's the truth, he said. Okay, so I just want to clarify that. Okay, guys, so let's make sure that the basic questions I'm okay with. I'm just kind of confused. I'm trying to pull back and also trying to think like myself when I was 9, 10, what I thought about training. And just looking at the magazines, I comprehended enough to understand how a beginning program should be set up. I want you guys to do that. Okay.